the letter sounds. Let's begin with the Spanish vowels. In Spanish, the letter A always makes the A sound, like in the words arte, martes, eran, entrada. The letter E always makes the E sound, like in the words eco, mente, presente, parte. The letter E always makes the E sound, like in the words Inca, pico, triple, zombie. The letter O always makes the O sound, like in the words orden, poder, droga, proceso. The letter U always makes the U sound, like in the words usted, puerta, prueba, bamboo. The letter B can make a hard B sound, like in the words bien, banco, lombriz. But it can also make a soft B sound, like in the words lovo, save, trivu. We get a soft B sound when the B is between two vowels. The letter C in Spanish can make a hard C sound like in the words casa, coco, campo. But it can also make a soft C sound like in the words cielo, cinco, receta. This happens when the C is followed by an E or an I. The letter D in Spanish can make a hard D sound like in the words dia, dulce, Andrés. But it can also make a soft D sound, like in the words dedo, mudo, pintado, when the D is between two vowels. The soft D sound is similar to the TH sound in English. The letter F in Spanish makes a strong F sound, like in the words fuente, enfermo, golf. The letter G in Spanish can make a hard G sound, like in the words gato, gusto, agua. But it can also make a soft G sound, like in the words gente, gigante, inteligente. This happens when the G is followed by an E or an I. In Spanish, the letter H is always silent. Whether it's at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the word, it's never pronounced. Here are some examples of words that have the letter H. Hola, hotel, ahora. The letter J in Spanish always makes a strong H sound, like in the words Juan, jirafa, mujer. In Spanish, the letter K is almost always used in loanwords, words borrowed from other languages. Native words typically use the C or the QU to represent the K sound. Here are some examples of words that use the letter K in Spanish. Kilo, koala, kiwi. In Spanish, the letter L makes the hard L sound, like in the words luna, leche, caliente. In Spanish, the letter M makes a hard M sound, like in the words música, cama, palmera. The letter N in Spanish makes a hard N sound, like in the words novela, nivel, panda. The letter ñ makes the NY sound, similar to the NY sound in the English word canyon. This letter is not in the English alphabet, but it's very common in Spanish. Here are some words that use the letter ñ. Año, niño, mañana. The letter P in Spanish makes a hard P sound, like in the words pan, puerta, siempre. The letter R in Spanish makes two distinct sounds. The rolling R sound, like in the words robo, carne, lugar, and the short tap R sound, like in the words paro, América, and toro. When the letter R is at the beginning of a word, it always makes the rolling R sound. When the letter R is within the word, or at the end of the word, it also makes the rolling R sound, except if it is between two vowels. Then it makes the short tap R sound. The letter S in Spanish makes a hard S sound, like in the words sol, santo, casa. In Spanish, the letter T makes a hard T sound, like in the words tienda, manta, corte. The letter V in Spanish makes a hard B sound, like in the words vaca, vino, verde. But it can also make a soft B sound when it is between two vowels, like in the words nuevo, suave, lava. The letter W in Spanish is only used in foreign words, and it usually keeps the hard W sound, like in whiskey or Wi-Fi. The letter X in Spanish makes three distinct sounds. The more common KS sound, like in the word examen, the S sound, like in the word Xiomara, and the soft H sound, like in the word Mexico. The letter Y in Spanish usually makes a hard Y sound, like in the words yo, olla, ayer, when it comes at the beginning of a word or syllable. But when Y appears within or at the end of a word, it often acts as a vowel, sounding like the English EE, like in the words hoy, muy, rey. The letter Z in Hispanic American Spanish makes a hard S sound, like in the words zapato, cereza, and luz. These are the Spanish digraphs. The C and the H together make a ch sound, just as they do in English, like in the words chocolate, pecho, cancha. Two L's together make a hard Y sound, like in the words llave, calle, pollo. Two R's together always make a rolling R sound, like in the words perro, corre, carrera. The double R only appears between vowels and never at the beginning or end of a word. The Q and the U together make a hard K sound. In Spanish, they are always followed by an E or an I, and the U is always silent, like in the words queso, quinto, toque. When a G is followed by an E or an I, it normally makes a soft G sound, like in the word gente. But when we want the G to make a hard G sound before an E or an I, we add a silent U after the G, like in the words guitarra, guerra, juguete. Well done completing the lesson on letter sounds. Remember, you can watch this video as many times as you need, and practice the exercises until you feel confident with the material. I will see you in the next lesson.